It is the summer transfer window, and we're definitely talking about transfers, and we've got developments. We've got good news coming in from the club Arsenal, as we definitely know that Mohamed Kudus is a big link, and something has happened. There is good news about Mohamed Kudus, and we've also got news about Moses Caicedo, and not forgetting that the one and only the Gremio football player is also one that we're going to be talking about, and that is none other than BITELLO. Hello everyone, and thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to, as long as this sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host Abu Carlos. I'm definitely right about here to give you the latest straight as it comes in. So let's get the party started. Whom should we really start with, because we've got quite a lot of information, transfer information. But before we go there, this is sort of a reminder. Do not forget that the club Arsenal has a few games to play. Arsenal is in 2 cup finals, and make sure you keep around to get watch-alongs for those 2 cup finals. There is Arsenal. Arsenal will be playing Monaco in the Emirates Cup final, and that will be on the Wednesday, the 2nd of August, and that will be very soon. And Manchester City will be playing Arsenal in the FA Community Shield, and that is also yet another final. So please make sure that you do not miss out on those 2 wonderful games. Arsenal could be capping, could be getting 2 cups, 2 cup finals, getting to 2 cup finals. That definitely means that it could definitely be winning 2 trophies anytime from now, very soon. Anyway, please do not forget that we definitely are here to talk about transfers, and let's get the party started for the transfers. So let's start with whom should we start with? Let's start with Moses Caicedo and his potential move to the club Arsenal. So it will be put to note that Moses Caicedo has been a big link. He's been linked to the club Arsenal for a while now, and there were limited hopes of Arsenal signing Moses Caicedo after Chelsea put in the first bid that was £60 million, and Arsenal was like, oh, this is quite a lot of money. Let's see how it goes. Chelsea put in the first bid and it was rejected. Second bid rejected. Third bid rejected. And the third bid has been £80 million. First bid was £60 million. Second bid 70. Third bid £80 million. Of these bids were rejected. That definitely shows that Arsenal is still in the game. That definitely shows that Arsenal can still get the football player. There are big possibilities that Arsenal can sign the football player, because Caicedo really, Moses Caicedo is still available. Brighton and Hove is saying whoever has the money, has the £100 million, you can come for the football player. But the question is, should Arsenal spend £100 million on Moses Caicedo? Because at this moment in time, if you've got £80 million, you cannot have him. But put to note that Moses Caicedo really wanted to play for Arsenal very much. In the general transfer window, he requested the club to sell him to Arsenal, and that was a good thing for the club. That definitely shows that Arsenal has somewhere to start from. So it is reportedly said that Mikel Arteta is looking into different options on how he can approach this transfer after Chelsea failing to sign the football player. Chelsea was left alone to make sure they can seal that deal and no disturbances, and they didn't have any bidding war. But at this moment in time, it is time for the football club Chelsea to step aside, and the club Arsenal possibly can go on with transfer business. So let's hope everything goes on quite well for the club Arsenal, and Arsenal can definitely get the football player Moses Caicedo. So let's talk about yet another football player. We're going to be talking about Balogun a little bit. There is a big possibility of Balogun leaving the club. There is something about Balogun could be leaving the club. 50 million pound is what was slapped on the football player, and Arsenal still looking into ways on how they can really get him out of the club and make a bit more money. And if Balogun leaves the club, that definitely means that Arsenal can get yet another football player, big football player. Just if Arsenal can get 50 million pound out of the football player Balogun, then Arsenal can add a bit more and possibly get a world-class football player. But I would probably leave Balogun at the club. Arsenal bring him on in a few games. We've seen how he's managed to play recently. Anyway, let's talk about it. Another football player that we are going to be talking about. Having talked about Moises Caicedo, let's talk about Mohamed Kudus. We'll be putting out that Mohamed Kudus, who is a Ghanaian professional football player and also plays for the Eredivisie side, Ajax Amsterdam, has been linked heavily to the club Arsenal, and it is reportedly said that Mohamed Kudus and the club Arsenal have already had talks, big talks, about his move to the club Arsenal. And Arsenal did not only have talks with Mohamed Kudus, but he also went on and had talks with the club Ajax. So when you see what happened with Ajax, really, at Ajax Amsterdam, Arsenal really told Ajax to send through information about the football player, and Chelsea moved into this. But Chelsea are trying to sign him, but there is nothing positive about this. But right about now, it is a it's a three-club struggle, three-club hunt. I don't know how I can call it, but three clubs are really interested in signing the football player, and this is Arsenal, Manchester United, which just came recently, joined the race recently, is it today, and then Chelsea. So it's three clubs that are really into Mohamed Kudus, and we could be seeing him making a preference, and it is reportedly said that his preference is Arsenal, and from day one he's always wanted to play for Arsenal. So let's hope really things can run quite well, can go on quite well for the football player, and hopefully we could be seeing him joining the club Arsenal, as we definitely know that he likes Arsenal, as he supports Arsenal. That's why we got that he was an Arsenal football player growing up. So that's quite good. And also, there is somewhere to start from. He could probably get to Arsenal and play with his former teammate, and that's who's that? Urian Timber. Urian Timber was also at Ajax Amsterdam, so it could be quite easy for Arsenal to get that deal done, as long as the price is definitely right for both parties. So let's hope everything goes on quite well right there. And at this moment in time, I think let's also talk about yet another interesting talent, and that is BITELLO. Who is a Grêmio football player. It will be noted that BITELLO is a Brazilian, and he's a Brazilian, and also a very good football player. He's been linked to the club Arsenal, and from different sources that we got, we had that the Brazilian superstar really has big interest in the club Arsenal, and Arsenal has already had talks, already finalized with this deal, though it's not yet official, but it is reportedly said that he is going to be an Arsenal football player. We're talking about around 90% of this deal is a deal that is done. So if 90% is done, that means possibly he's already agreed the move. He's already agreed a move to the club Arsenal. So that's quite good, really. That's quite good information for the club Arsenal. And I hope really everything keeps on moving on quite well for the club Arsenal, and they can get the football player. I can get the Grêmio football player BITELLO, and BITELLO is a young talent Brazilian, and for some reason Mikel Arteta this is in recent years he's been in love with Brazilian superstars, and when you see how many Brazilian football players are playing for Arsenal, it's no shock that Arsenal is going for yet another Brazilian superstar. Brazil is a country that's known for its football, And we won't be surprised when BITELLO gets to the club. Arsenal, and he performs quite well, excels. I mean, you've got Martinelli over there. What do you definitely think? Quite a big number. Anyway, thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell such do not miss out on whatever I've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related, right about here at the Arsenal chapter. With me, your very host, Abu Kals, as I'm definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest trade as it comes in, as we've been talking about a few football players, one of them being the Grêmio superstar, Brazilian international, and that is none other than BITELLO, and also talking about Moises CAICEDO plus Mohamed KUDUS, and a little bit about Balogun. Thank you, and goodbye for now.